no volume on the stream, or else we're gonna have like the end of stream.
You are so
have
right.
like the end of stream.
Oh,
Just have, like, the-
I think I fixed it. Hey.
No,
I can still hear
you
it.
can still hear it. You just mute the stream.
All right.
Okay,
completely
I think we're
muted.
good. Okay, so we are now live. I don't know if anybody's watching. Oh, we have 3 viewers. Welcome,
Three viewers. Welcome, everybody.
We're really
Solid
grateful
deposit.
to have you guys here. So to give you a rundown, I am Matthew Ventures, and with me is Scott. No, I'm Scott Mulligan. This is Matthew Ventures. We are the
We
creative.
are Black Vein Productions, baby.
Yes, yes, we are.
And we're stoked to be here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes.
Whether you're joining us live or you're watching this video 10 years from now around the campfire with us, we're so excited that you're here to help us launch our new game, Do Animals Dream.
Yes.
It has been a long production, as always.
Yes.
Stereotypical. I'm actually grateful that we didn't have an audience for No Stranger, because that game was done at least 5 times before it got released. We're going to get to questions in a moment, but the big one is, why the hell did this one take so long? And I have to say, if there's one thing about game development, it's that it's hard to plan, and I think that's part of the magic of what we're making here, but it can be a little bit difficult to tell exactly how things are going to end up. But we're really excited about the final product. We have literally been working on it till the deadline.
Yeah.
Scott was talking to me today about adding in a whole new scene.
I did.
And it wasn't a bad idea, but unfortunately, we got to stop at some point. And we really love where it is right now. We think you guys are going to love it too, but we've done some serious revisions. So if you've already played it in like a beta test, which we did have some people help out,
a tremendous help. Shout out to all of the playtesters of Do Animals Dream. You guys really made the game what it is in a lot of really meaningful ways. And we'll probably continue to shape it, because I assume there will still be some bugs. We tried to iron out all the bugs that we knew about for launch, but feel free to let us know anything else that comes up. We'd be happy, to get it all sorted out for you.
Yeah, for sure. I realized after my last game that every game deserved a report a bug feature, because the users are going to find it way long before you do. But yeah, we have changed it a lot, and we've taken the feedback from everybody really seriously. We've gotten tremendous feedback in the forum.
T3, welcome.
What's going on? And also on YouTube. And so I feel like to some degree I want to just go to some of the Let's Plays that have already come out and been like, hey, the game's changed. We took your feedback into consideration. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
Oh, hey, what's up? I played the beta test. It was really good. You guys did excellent. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thanks, and we hope you like the new changes
for
even
Psychic,
more.
We didn't change anything.
Yeah. You if you love it how it is, just don't play it ever again. It's done. And people who didn't like the first version, now it's new. So.
Yeah. And if you're wondering who the hell this magnifying glass is, this is Glassy, who is your boss and NSA intern. We had pillows made of his face, so he is the boss of BVP. So he's here with us today as well.
NSA intern is our second game, not as well known, but we care about it very deeply.
It was banned.
It was banned everywhere, but how it is.
Hopefully, this game does not get banned everywhere.
It may.
It may,
but we're going to also be on itch.
Yes.
So if you're watching this in the comments section, if this is on YouTube, we're going to have the itch link and the Steam link, so both are going to be available. But tonight we're launching both, I guess.
So we did get some questions, and if you're in the stream, feel free to ask questions live as well. I'm really hoping it doesn't get removed from Steam. We are too.
Yeah.
We are too.
Oh boy, you never know. Our last game got banned from Steam, so they don't love us.
And I shared that whole correspondence with you guys in the Discord.
It's on the Discord.
Read it. But anyway, we got some questions here. Matthew, do you want to...
Yeah, so I'll read the first question in. And the question is, in every question that the player gets asked and the choices that the player is given to answer, where do the questions and the answers come from? As in, basically, what inspired the choices in the game and the dialogue? So I think a great place to answer that would be from Scott's mind, because he is really our creative lead, and he came up with almost all of the lines you love.
And also Matthew, not to make this like, oh, everybody's great. But
everybody's great. We're awesome.
But Matthew contributes a lot to the editing of and a lot of the really great ideas that you see in the game. But I would say, honestly, where it initially comes from is just organically, like, who is this character? For example, with Claire, like, she has her garden right by her, so there's going to be questions about the garden, and maybe you're going to help her with the garden. She also has her kids right there. If you haven't played the game, this is probably very confusing.
Oh, there will be spoilers, maybe?
Oh, yes.
Is this a spoiler?
I would say, no, we'll try to...
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Maybe, like, light spoilers. Like, if you don't want any...
little sprinkle spoilers.
Yeah, info. But she has a couple kids there, so anything, like, question-wise is based kind of in the character, in the environment, and then also how it's related to the story. For example, the character needs to get items in the game, so some of the dialogue is going to be based around those items as well. So that's generally how we go about it. Do you have anything else that you're thinking about?
I would just add to that, the characters and the questions have changed so much as a result of player feedback.
Mm-hmm.
It has happened a ton of times where the person plays the game and they're like, oh, I wish I could just say to this guy, screw you. And then we add that as an option. So that has happened a ton. One example is there's a character you meet in the game where the only options to destroy them are mean. And somebody was like, oh, I want to destroy them, but peacefully. And so we were like, okay, we've got to add an example for that. So we added that option, and that followed. My mom played the game, and she was like, what did she was like, the ending made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, okay, maybe we could tweak it a little bit or something. So my mom had a big impact on the game, actually.
Yeah.
Which I think gets a little bit into the second question, which is what on earth caused Dad to be delayed so many times? And it was delayed for a wide amount of reasons, but if we were to sum it all up, it's just because we wanted to make the game better and better. The biggest feedback was just mainly two things. The first was people gave us feedback of how to make the game better, and so we wanted to tweak it, maybe add a new storyline or add a new option with a different alternate ending. Originally, the game had only one ending, and then we added 3 different endings depending on how you played the game. So that was a big change. And then the second reason, in addition to player feedback, was, it's kind of boring, but just technical feedback. So the game ran at 2 frames a second originally, which is very slow. You can't. It's terrible. So we the game was pretty much unplayable at that point because we hadn't even built it. We had never tested that. Where I guess normal game companies, they test it from the beginning. We just finished it, then we tested it, and we're like, oh shit, this game does not run. So then we had to go back, and Scott added a ton of stuff to turn on the island on and off based on where you're standing. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll do a video about that, but it's really cool. Like, once you go around a certain cliff, everything behind the cliff disappears because we're turning it off in order to save a lot of space and memory. So feels like 4 endings with the 2 ways to get to ending 3. You did a great job making it feel like there's so many routes to go on in conversations. Decisions feel meaningful.
Oh.
Thanks so much, T3. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's really lovely feedback. I think, and honestly, just like going a little bit back to the dialogue, it's usually when players come to us, they just want more options. They want more and more. And we love to give people options as well, because I think that's one of the fun things you can do with a video game is like player choice and having them... like your choices having an impact on where the story goes or where a character's story goes. So that was the thing. And then also I think, you're just talking about player feedback. Matthew and I also scrutinize the game a lot. We're probably the biggest critics of every single thing we make. So if we're not happy with it, we're like, okay, we got to push it back. We got to keep on working on it. We got to make this better. We got to make that better. So that's also a big part of pushing it back. And the last thing I would say is that we're usually not so great at perceiving the amount of time. Like, for example, Tony Hawk Existential Nightmare, we thought it would take a weekend.
Yeah,
but
2 days.
It ended up taking probably a week and 9 days, I'd say.
Yeah, it probably took 9 days.
Yeah.
And those were long days, yeah.
So they always say you should double it, but I think at BVP, if we think it's going to take...
Triple it, maybe? Quadruple?
Maybe quintuple. 4 to 5 times, however long we think it's going to take. Especially, this was our first time making a 3D game. Well, actually, no, Tony Hawk's a 3D game.
Tony Hawk, yeah.
But I would say Tony Hawk is much more like you're on a route. It's more of like a...
It's linear.
Yeah, it's more like a movie in a way than a video game. Whereas this has more paths to take, and you're able to just like randomly walk around. You're not on a route. So this was totally new. For maybe you were there any interesting technical challenges about coding for this one?
There was a lot of pain for sure. I could share that. There's still problems. But you know what the thing is, like, there's just a million things you could add to a game like this, and good things that will make it better and better. So, for example, we had a feedback. Oh, when Abe walks around, he doesn't make any sound with his footsteps. The player makes footstep sounds, but Abe doesn't make any footstep sounds. So that's like a great example of like, oh yes, of course he should. Of course we should add that. But it's just one more thing. And so at some point we've got to close the book, and as with a team with only one programmer, right, you can only go so far. So at some point you've got to put a title on it and ship it out. I don't want to say like we want to fix the bugs, obviously, but it's always a careful balance of like what crazy idea can we add, because if there's one thing that we can agree on, it's that there's always another cool thing that we can do.
I also have a lot of crazy ideas that I'll pitch Matthew.
Yeah.
And Matthew will be like, I forgot where he got it from, but he says like, we can do anything, but we can't do everything.
It's an old boss of mine.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick what you want to focus on for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and this is the last question that we have here. Do you have any future plans to maybe make more vegan games? I could go first. So I am definitely planning on making more games. I'm fortunate enough to make games as my day job, but I'm going to keep making indie games too for Black Vein. I have always like a few games that I'm thinking about. So there's one game which is going to be an extension of like a personal project I made a long time ago, which is called Coming Out Simulator, or Coming Out, and a Queer Perspective. So that is a game I'd love to build into a full game one day, probably within 9 years. And then the other game is called Breach Buddies.
Was that a joke?
No, that's realistic. That is the realistic time frame for that game. It probably is going to take about 9 years. I would assume. Maybe 5. It depends when I do it. But then the other game that I want to make is called Breach Buddies, and that one's probably going to be done in about 2 years, if it gets done at all. And so that game, I have one video on my YouTube about it, but it's not a story game. It's like you break into this house and you shoot people. It's very much like a Call of Duty or a game like that. So that is kind of the next game for me. So right now I haven't planned on any vegan-inspired games, but there's definitely a lot of games I want to be doing. And then if we get an idea for a fun dialogue-driven game, I'm always happy to join my buddy Scott. Maybe there'll be dialogue in Breach Buddies. I'm not sure. Maybe I can find a way to tune that in. It could be a fun way for us to collab again. But for right now, that's kind of my plan. So it's going to be just mostly solo games right now, but the door is always open. Maybe Tony Hawk 2, who knows?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm probably going to take a long nap after this game is released. Or honestly, we'll probably get a bunch of stuff. So probably before the nap, I'll be like, oh, let me fix any typos.
Yeah, there's probably going to be bugs. When is the game really done? I'm still fixing No Stranger, which came out 5 years ago, and you know how it is.
After that, probably take a break for a bit, and then I have no idea. No idea what the future holds. Obviously, I'd love to make more games with Matthew in the future, but I think every time Matthew and I get done with a game, we always take a break for a little while, because I think it's definitely a lot of work to make anything.
It is a lot of work, and putting up with me, Scott gets tired. It's not a fun experience. I get very cranky.
Well, no, both of us though. You know what I mean?
Scott gets very cranky. Everybody's cranky.
Everybody's cranky. But
we're happy now. We're happy this shit is done.
Because going back, this is a little bit of a tangent, but going back to why it takes so long, Matthew and I actually also really like making the things. So it's like you almost get to once it's out, a lot of the time the creative process or the making of process is over. You know what I mean? So that is almost a little sad in a way. Like the big creative stuff, it's like you're not gonna you're probably not going to change half the game at this point unless it's like you released with a ton, like unless you didn't add a second half of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can add to that a little bit. It's so weird being a creator of the game, and some of the people who've been beta testers are going to experience this a little bit now, because in a way you guys are creators and contributors to the game too. And it's that you, at any given time, are sort of imagining what the game was. You're thinking about all the things that used to be the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're thinking about what the game currently is. And then at the same time, you're probably thinking about what the game could have been, what changes we could have done, or ideas we had that never even made it into the game. So whenever I'm looking at a piece of dialogue or a story moment from Do Animals Dream, I'm thinking about how it's, like I read a line, and it's like, oh man, this line has gone through so many revisions, and even now I'm not happy with it, or I want to change it. And there's an example from No Stranger, which is a game we made previously, where there's like, you have a choice between whether or not you want to go track someone down or track somebody else down, whether it's Julio Fianopoulos or
Noel Savier.
Noel Savier. And it's like at some point in that game, you could track down either person. You had a choice.
Yeah.
But in the current version, you can only do one. And so that was like I can still never remember like the difference. Like I always think that that's a choice, but it's not for the player.
Yeah.
So, when we have like a new ending for the game now. So if you go and you watch the video, you might you might think about the new ending, or you might think about the old ending, right? And it's like they're different, but in your mind they kind of exist at the same time.
Yeah, it's not like a totally new. Like there's not a whole. It's more of like a different path you could take at the end, which is just kind of adds another flavor to it. I guess you could say we consider it still one of the core 3 endings.
Yeah.
But
it's not a new ending.
Yeah,
it's just we changed one.
Exactly.
We're always changing it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, those are the questions, and then the plan now is for us to launch it and push the button. Or we have 3 more minutes before we do that.
3 minutes.
So why don't we open up the champagne we've got here? My girlfriend was nice enough to buy us this lovely bottle, so I'll start working on that. And if you have any other questions that come to you, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer them.
We used to do a stream where everybody was in it. Like we would have you guys as like a Google Hangout. But unfortunately, last time we did that, we got bombed, like Zoom bombed, and somebody showed some inappropriate content.
We got some hackers.
Yeah, we got some hackers. So unfortunately, we now do.
How iconic for NSA Intern that we got hackers.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna move out of the way to not get. Last time I opened one of these, it just like. It's like a bullet. It's crazy.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Oh dear. Here, you want to hold your glass?
Yeah.
Hold your glass and just put it under if the things come out.
Yeah, I'll move back a bit. Whoa. Well, that was pretty impressive. That was good.
All right. There you go.
I think one of my...
And this is iconic too, because we have an iconic video of us pouring out a glass of champagne
for the funeral.
For the funeral of NSA Intern, which was our last game, which met an end a little bit soon. Oh, that's the other thing too. I know we didn't talk about this, but I have very serious plans to go back to our previous game, NSA Intern, and retheme it in order to get it past the censors and to release it. So I don't know if I should share with you guys my idea, but the plan is, this is top secret, okay? But I want to rename it Santa's Secret Helper. And instead of helping the NSA, you're helping out Santa and his number 1 elf, Glassy. But then you realize, actually it's the NSA. That's my crazy idea. So I think it could be fun as like a trick, and that way maybe the Apple reviewers won't know. Like we'll sneak it past them, but that's my crazy idea. So I think that'd be fun to do together.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah. But we got 1 minute left. This is really exciting.
And Scott's also doing So we were just talking about games, but like Scott's also doing projects with YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, so my day job is for Vice News, so I work on documentaries for Vice News during the day, and then I work on these guys after. That sounds like a great way to get around the issue. Hopefully it works out. Honestly, T3, I don't think it will.
He's skeptical.
I'm skeptical. I think they'll find us out pretty easily, but hopefully it does. And then, so I work during the day on documentaries for Vice News, and then after I would do like little YouTube videos, and I'll probably make more of those. And yeah, I'm not sure what else.
So subscribe to Scott. He's Scott Mulligan, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah, Scott
So you
Mulligan
can check out his videos.
Matthew
He's got some fun stuff. He tried out Jake Paul's. That's like his big thing.
That was years
ago. Okay, I don't know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
The videos, the book reviews. He's got a lot of book reviews.
How long have each of you been vegan? So I've been vegan for over a year now, and then I think June 11th was probably the day. Oh, we're releasing. And then Matthew, how long have you been vegan?
How long have I been vegan? I became vegan, believe it or not, as a result of making this game. So we've been making this game for about 10 months, and I became vegan about halfway through. So I've been vegan about 5 months now, and that's my story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting. You know, I'm somebody who never actually thought I would be... Oh, do we want to publish it?
Yeah, so we're looking at a big green button right now.
Yeah, it says publish now.
Can we get a picture of you, maybe just...
My phone. Do you have your phone?
I've got this.
Oh, well, here's a fun fact.
Polaroid.
Polaroid's not vegan.
Not vegan. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Oh, man.
Yeah, but Matthew...
Yeah, I've been using the Polaroid camera. Apparently, it's got cow feet in it. Not good.
I told Matthew that it has gelatin.
Yeah, that's...
Gelatin.
Yeah, part of being a vegan is a
Finding
series of unhappy
finding
discoveries.
out that everything you think is fun... Not everything, but
All
a lot
right,
of things...
We can go digital. We can go digital. Here, why don't you just go next to the thing? I wanted to get the photo. Woo-hoo. And just put your finger on the mouse button and push the green button there.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Oh, if you're ready, you have to type in release my app.
Oh,
no.
Oh boy, okay. I didn't expect this.
Give me 1 second. Release. This is like move that truck.
Move that truck. Ty
Re-
Pennington.
Release now. Oh my god. It's loading.
It's loading. We're looking at a loading symbol.
This would be so funny if Steam was like, and now we've decided
Reject
to
it. Yeah, that's our look.
That's awesome that the creation could be influential, and hopefully the game is successfully influential as well. Congrats on the release. Oh, thank you so much, C3, and thank you so much for your feedback on the game. It's really been hugely influential on how we view it and some of the changes we've made. I think thoughtful criticism is... Oh my god. Your application is now visible on the Steam Store. It may take up to 10 minutes for your product to appear in applicable lists such as new releases or upcoming, but you can view it immediately by following the link below.
View store page. Install Steam.
$5.03.
$5. All right, we did it. High five. Congrats.
Wow.
The game is out. It's on sale. $5. Or if you want to take the 1 week vegan pledge to go a week without eating animal products,
Totally free.
it'll be free for you. So just retweet our tweet.
Thank you, Psychic. If you have a drink at home, maybe some water, maybe whatever you got, cheers to you.
Huzzah! Well, honestly, we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you guys so much. Guys, girls, everybody. This is, I mean, this is definitely a shared achievement because we would be nothing without this amazing fan base.
Yeah, in games, honestly, I feel right at the start there, I'm known for going into rants. So literally right before I'll go into a mini
short rant.
Is that like honestly, it's not really anything if people don't play it. Like if that makes sense, especially something that you're releasing, because the game is. It sounds a little bit like pretentious, but the game is kind of what people's experience of the game is in a weird way. Obviously, there's like the making of, and that's awesome, and that's where I probably derive the most of my enjoyment from it. But like the actual game itself is not. It's not even the physical thing. It's actually the interaction somebody has with it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Which sounds a bit magical. But
no, I understand that. Like my favorite part is watching streamers play because I like to see them delighted or maybe angry. It's one of my worries because it's like if we change a part of the game and they didn't like it originally, it's like, oh, maybe they'll like the next version, but you never know. And of course, you can't please everybody.
You watched something today, right? Where the person had a piece of feedback. It was like a first impression.
Yeah, I watched some feedback today, and we changed the game. And I mean, we're doing it up to the deadline, so at some point you got to stop, and you can't please everybody, so that's just that's how it goes.
And you got to maintain the artistic vision too. Like you can't change too much, or else you're going to lose what the initial sole purpose of it was, based off of feedback. So that's really important too. I like the new. How did T3 has already gotten
T3.
a new ending?
We have speedrunners in the community who are just insane.
I'm not surprised, T3, that you've already beaten the game.
Well, thanks for playing it, I guess.
In 4 minutes.
All right, well, the last thing is a little present.
Well, I was the one who suggested it, so I knew.
There you go. Perfect. Well, I'm happy you enjoyed it.
Yeah, congratulations. And we look forward to you beating the game in literally under 1 minute. That is the goal.
One day.
For New Game Plus, under 1 minute. We should have put in like a bug or something in order.
Well, we have like developer hacks, but hopefully T3 will never find those. That'd probably be cheating, I guess. I don't know. So Scott got me this little present to celebrate. It's not a proposal. It's not gay. It's just though it could be. No, but it's just this little ring. Thank you so much, dude. This is awesome. Look at this. So this is a cool. Scott has gotten me a ring for every project. I wish I got them out, but this is like a little lion head, and you can't see it at all. It's too grainy. I don't have a very fancy webcam. But thanks so much, Scott. This is awesome.
It's been like a fun tradition. I still have yet to get the skateboard ring for Tony Hawk.
We didn't do one for that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, we could just ride our boards or something.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, of course.
And we got these T-shirts, obviously. A little tight, but repping the merch. So happy to be here. Definitely couldn't see it, but post a picture on the Discord. That sounds awesome. Okay, I'll post one just after the video.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
Well, final thoughts. The game is now launched.
Final thoughts.
Somebody can literally go buy it if they want to on the Steam page.
Yeah, I mean, my final thought, honestly, is a big sigh of relief. I mean, in some ways...
Take the sigh.
I mean, to some degree, like, if you're making a commercial product, this is only the beginning of the journey, right? You want a lot of people to buy it and play it and share it with their friends. But, for us, the main motivator has always been, like I said, making games with my best friend. It's a dream come true. So I think I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to have done that. And hopefully it resonates with people. But whether it does or it doesn't, it was still an awesome time to work on this thing. And I'm going to share it with my buddies now. And hopefully they enjoy it just as much as I did making it.
Beautiful.
Any last words on that?
Any last words? Your head would look good on the wall or something? Spoiler of the game.
Spoiler Scott here.
Somebody watching this hears that and is like, what the?
Very confusing.
Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. Everybody, have a good night. Peace out.